Good afternoon, Talo Falava. This is the third week that we've carried out this session following the meeting of Cabinet to give a few highlights of decisions made, events and happenings in the government. At the end of last week, we held a ceremony to formally begin a major project on the improvement of our wharf at Matau Tutai to improve the infrastructure and also to provide buildings to service mostly our customs. The other major part of this project is also to increase the area for containers, and this is a measure of the growing supply of goods coming into our country. This is a major project with different elements, and we hope that it will be completed in all its phases by 2024. One of the major works that has been undertaken and will continue is our West Coast Road going towards the airport. This is a major transport area especially between Apia, the airport, and of course the wharf in Mulifanua. This is also the most heavily populated part of our country, so the roading infrastructure is very important. This has been a project that has been ongoing for a number of years now, with the target of reaching the Faleolo airport and of course further to our wharf. The river wall for the Vaisingano River has been a project that was started probably 5 years ago now as part of our adaptation to climate change. We are onto the second phase of the river wall, and we hope that this project, which is being funded by the Global Green Fund, will be completed as expected for the protection especially of the town area and the surrounding of the Vaisingano River. We have two appointments to our government services. Our chairman of the Public Service Commission, Mr. Aiono Mosesua, resigned earlier this month, and we have now appointed Mrs. Lawano Bausa Epa, who has been serving as a commissioner to the Public Service Commission, to move into the position of chair of Public Service Commission for the remaining part of her 3-year contract, which will conclude in April next year. The Public Service Commission, of course, serves a very significant and important part in the workings of government, and we are pleased that we can have the continuity of leadership in the Public Service Commission through this appointment of Lawano to the chair of the Public Service Commission. Mr. Mulipola Lose Hazelman, who has been the CEO for our dialysis unit, has been reappointed for another 3-year contract. This is a very important service for the country, and the Minister of Health has brought the paper to confirm the appointment of Mr. Hazelman, and it has been confirmed by Cabinet. Whilst I'm on health issues, I would like to give a brief update of our vaccine coverage for Samoa. The target that we have set for the vaccine coverage is 130,000 of the 200,000 population. This is the eligible population, which does not include at the moment those 18 and younger, and pregnant and nursing mothers. It is our intent when the Pfizer vaccine is available that this vaccine can then be rolled out for our younger population. So to date, we have reached 67% of the eligible population who have had their first shot. This is 81,672. And for the second shot, we've reached 27% at 33,667. So as I indicated last week, the Health Ministry has begun a door-to-door rollout of the COVID-19 vaccinations. This is a practice that we undertook with the measles epidemic and had a very good impact. So we are hoping that the population will take up this new rollout by our health ministry to ensure that we can reach our target as set for our coverage of the COVID-19. No doubt you will have heard that New Zealand, with the discovery of a new community-based COVID case, has moved into level 4. And with that decision by New Zealand, we have also consulted with our New York committee, with Cabinet today, and we have come to a decision that we should defer all flights to Samoa for this period of time until the situation in New Zealand is further clarified. I think that we can all agree that this is the best protection for us to ensure that our borders are kept safe. It is unfortunate because the next flight, which would have been Thursday next week, would have brought in between 200 and 300 passengers. And I know that this will be a disappointment to families who are wanting to return, and also families who have been awaiting keenly for their members to return to Samoa. But this is a decision that has been taken by Cabinet today, and I feel confident that this is the right decision to ensure the safety of our country. So I think lastly, I think I had spoken 2 weeks ago when I first started this program that Samoa and New Zealand were beginning to hold discussions on a possible travel bubble, and especially of travel from Samoa to New Zealand, and quarantine travel at that. So the two main groups that are now under discussion for that opportunity are our health cases going to New Zealand for treatment, and the second group is the RSE workers. Although the situation in New Zealand now may delay the possibility of implementing any arrangement that can come through these negotiations. But we feel that the negotiations can still continue, and when our borders are clear and the situation in New Zealand is safe, then I feel confident that we can move forward on that travel opportunity between our two countries. So that's my short report on a few highlights and some of the happenings and events with our government this week, and I wish you all well to Fasui for.
Any questions? Any proceed?
Leo Fiame, Leo maksud bayi deh, panuan malu, satu malanga ya, lumina ini, sesuai menu sudah cukup, Leo tahu dia, tulang ada spesial ni, jauh terbaik le, sama le, tulang community, tapi pun data tu masing-masing, tapi ada, aku pun le quality, ada sih, cili ni, cili pada tulang ada satu ada sih. Ele tu yang falas kini merba ngale ni tu ngale satu travel Papua le wa dia bela tu tahu pila tu no tu ngale wa tu le menu sini
O le mea ia, em whai ana whaaua o le whainga whaataltali noanga wai te le a ia tūlanga e fwoi le tauna whaamali e ina. Ai mai se ala New Zealand, ia e fwoi na ia tātou, ai e inga e tau fwoi ona whaamali e ina, ai mai se pēpa pēa e i le tūlanga fwoi le o le malanga mai New Zealand i Samoa. E le avea le mea le ua tupu nei i New Zealand le toe maua o nisi le whaamali. E tau fia I fua le whaaua wina o talanoa. Ai masalo e ono fwoi le tolo pōso na whaatinonga pe a whapea e whaaumiumi pe ai to ai lol na me pe a mautinoa mai o wai o le whapea mai a New Zealand pe se mata I tu mo se vai aso o nei doa I fwoi le la tōpo a ia la sanga I tau na tāpena I la tō ai o te loa I le laa I le level 4 o ina le malosi o le fua le ua baai e New Zealand tau na wabe fai e tau fia mai ai le pepesi o le whamai.
Manu le mo fo le manu le ba ya se pero I le fio atu mai pali ni. Nei ta kuia pe apa pe pina ngalo. Te o batu yesi si. Ole tulanga le pina ngalo fo te tai malai tu pa fai tu kuia ya to tanga te le. Ta pina ngalo to penga maro ko le tala tu tupe. Pe ona mapuna mai nei ba ya se foi se pina ngalo pa pe. Le ta pa e lo to penga maro e se vai no tala no tupe se so so ni menusila. Le fo o mate watu li potu sa no te mata I minsta tupe. E pe tulanga fai ni tai na sila. O lo le alo le sa le mapani o le fa u le tama bueno I lona la tu la fa minsta baba ia tu I tu la mo le conflict of interest I mata u ku ia fia sa I de fia fa au pi tar tu pe ia sia ta pe na ma ai o le mo le mano le o fia ma e o me so fina ngalo o le atonu ta to mo lo I ta pe na ma ta tu tala tu mo tu pe mo tu na tu mo pa
O te fia tali atu mua I mta upu leo le saili sosoani na malo New Zealand. Mai o te manatu se mea I le mta upu lona rua le te fisili mai ai poile le conflict of interest. O le memo mua o auna u amata mea I le whafse o tai o le malo New Zealand. I le tūlanga foilea o le whaonga ina o tala o le tala o le tupe, the budget. Foilea e whaonga io iai, ia whainga whaavai ai maise pe a whapea o iei se whesu ia inga. I whainga malo, pe o mela le o tupu nei a tātou o le o sui mai e le vaenga whaupu whai a le fast. E se foi ana whainga whaavai, ma ana anawa, o le whesili la. awa o mea umai whaatino ko ilea i le tala o le tupe. O le fesiri la, e whaafea o na whaonga le tala o le tupe, e mawhai o na whaanga yo iai suinga ia. Ai mai se pēr whaapea o ni suinga ko ilea whenga whaavai e onga onga. Ia, o na mawhau lea, o te iloa le mea na tupu i New Zealand, i le taimi lea na pale mai ei le whenga maloa le leipa, le whaau nei. E tūsa e pale mai le leipa ua iwa tausanga sa iei le maloa le national, a tūsa e tolu paia inga, wai tai tolu tausanga. Na o iloa la, o lesi mele sa whea ngai ma le whenga malo i le pale atu o le leipa. O le fesiri lava lea, whaafea o na whaonga le budget, e whaatino ai le suinga o la tofu i whenga whaavai. Mai ona la sa o iloa na whai e le whenga malo le leipa le nāmea. Ia au se mea fo ili nā lea e tū lai mai, fo ile i le fōu mai o le whenga malo. Ia, o le mea pito whaingofia, o le fesiri i tangata ua ona whai al nā mea. Mai e se lo u whaafetai i le bawe tali mai. Awa le whionga lava le Minister o tupe, o Grant Robertson. O le la o mātou ma le whionga ia mulpola ma le whionga le ota sa whai le mātou whaatali noanga fo i le runga o pesota inga fo i le o le Zoom. Ia na fufola atu la ia le iai, fo i le o le mea lea e maute vai iai. Ia, e mawhai ana mātou whaia, o i le tintiro po apo karame rune. Ai e se le whai ngofie, pēa e whai i tangata ua umo na whaia. E na whawheo na tau whaia le mea na. Pe iei se, fo i le se model, na mawhai na tau whaatino ai le mea na. O a ia whainga e te tau na whai. O le mana iei o le whorosanga le Minister. Ai o lana upu fo. Nā alu ala lato no fo inga mua e tau tau sanga. O tau mawhai e whai le mea na. Mai i le lato metotia lana whaonga. Na o lava le lato fuafuanga i le mea fo i lea o le toe fua. Pena tau nuu i suinga ia na lato mana o whai. Tusala evaluate po le ale tau nuunga. Awa o le mea monia. So se ngai o inga e whai, po se suinga foi, e te mana o e te iloa, pe nā o ngā, le suinga le na whai, e whatau nuu ia le aunga ma le wha moe moe o se mea. Ia, o le ngata la i le matou whaasoa ma le whionga i le Minister, mo na oto i na mai tūlanga fo i le whenga whaavai o tūla whono, ai waia au mai a fo i o fo i na mai. Ia lātou fo i tangata i ele poto masani o le whainga o le tuai ngā mea lea. Mai o mea ia, a whailoai, au ai whailoai a Minister o Tata SS, po Minister o Tupe, po Minister o Aonga, o a umaisi, o Minister o le Waifafo, a whailoai Minister, o le mea lea, o tuai ngā mea ia whasoa i e lātou, pe whawhena whai e lātou le mea lea, pe siri atu i ele, ia se whainga ua whaalelei a tili ai e se lato au nanga. I lop la tausi, e le o se mea leanga, o le mea iau ngā, mai mō mātou o na le mau te whau mai. E fwoi lea, o le hale mea o le atau, fwoi lea ti ngā i le ulu ma tau mawhau whau, fwoi lea, a lea ua iei a tape nanga ua umana whai eisi tangata, fwoi lea tate fisili mo ta malamalama iai. Ia, o le awhionga ia ta maita i Minister, malana Minister lango le awhionga ia leo. Ia tau kata po ia masani i me tau tupe, i lo whai tau talo tupe, i lo le winga, po i leo le whaasoa i me whapena. Ai, o le whisili aian, po i leo no umanatua ia o ngā le matou talo nua i le malo New Zealand. O na whai e la tau le to e ngā melea, o le transition budget, o le change budget, e fua i lunga o le esenga o vaenga whaukwhai, ia ma lātou fo i filosofia, mo lātou winga tausili, Oile, awai, ese ia fausanga o vaenga whai. O le mea mua la na. Ai o le tūlanga ai o le talo tupe, o lai solo le leia. Mai o le sau no mai e le tamaita i minstau tupe misalo le vai aso lea o le a mawhailoa na o mai e manitanga duenga e fola mai le kapeneta i le talo tupe fia whatatia i ase tema. O le tali la ale tamaita i minstau. O te manatu, o lana tali, i lau whauenga ina. Ele o le tala o le tupe le whaafita uli mo ia. O le whaafita uli mo ia. O le mele tupu. O le ofisa sili. O lana whautua mua lea. Foi lea o le atali. O le taitai o le vaena whautua o HRPP. Conflict of interest. E tu sala i loo foi le whaawinga ina o le tali al tamaitai minsta o le melna. E lai fai ngofi ane me tau tupe ia i e masani me tau tupe. Ai o le whaafita uli mo ia. O le whaafai ngata o na whaatino na ngā duenga i lunga o le tūlanga foi ia. Ia. O le tūla ia tui o le minsta o tupe. Le tau tāpe ngā tūla na tala o le tupe. Ia. Ai lai tū mai ia le tamau na whautua. Foi lea e taite ia mai ia lesi i tū o le whainga mālo. Ia, te le tau whamatalatu le nāmea. Ia, wai, o te manatu fwoi o la lava iam, e fwoi le sa o alitali ale tamaita i minsta. Po le ale whawhita o le rai whea ngai manei.
Le ala fwoi whawhita o le tamaita i minsta.
Masalo le asa wale minsta e mai alan fwoi le kapinet.
In other words, the minister does not trust the CEO?
Well, perhaps, I mean, you can't take away the fact that he is the son of the leader of the opposition or the leader of the other party.
Can you just brief what you said about the budget?
Do I really have to?
But he found much water, see the open one to make it fun. Listen to that to farm see no you when you see the Tolima. They were feeling about to go over and appear down in the road. They were making a lot of light to one. The real lady, Fatuma Commission, I run a farm snow. Our way for him must say, Swallow. Here, for say, Pasiapo. For it to me, you remember to know it to me that on my rope farm snow. So pinangalo wa tasi leo bala desa ina ina ko I te o le vai mai kuia ya to tana io so tanga o tato famsino I ta o salo tea I le vele io I le mawanu o le fu o le nei Italia ai le la tu fa sia fa pe ai fa sol muri ese famsino mai to ve no so tai ai o leo o mai tu so la tu no famsino fa tino ina ni so ta o leo to to nei ponga malo. So pinangalo Fiame de pa mo le o to ia ia komisión ala na tamsilo.
Ia ole me mua o le au mai o ni whaamisino. E tawala mai I se whautuanga le komisi e pūlera o whengalwa ngā whaamisino. I leo se mea fo. Wasa masa I fona mai a tātou whaamisino. I o te reala whaamisino le whaamisino o apiti. Mai ele tau mate o le koile au mai o whaamisino I to lima. E ono mwhai ona whaonga ina I le whaamisino o mawalunga. Ia, ma le whaamisino o apili fo. Ia ai le pe o le ae mai le tūlanga le o le whaamisino o mawalunga mo le nei taimi. Ia, ele nāmalai na fo o le loma I anisi o mata upulu mo whaamisinonga I le contempt of court. Mai o contempt ia, e mafua mai, ona ni whai unga na whai e whaamisino Samoa leo no fuia nei le laulau le whaamisinonga. Mai ai donga se mea ami o tonu, le toi o mai lava o whaamisino na. e whaia i le whaamisinonga o le contempt I lungo ni whai unga sa lātou whaia lātou mai e manatu fo ia le kapeneta ia ua le fuafuanga le ua whaatatia mai e le komisia Koe lea e pūlea ia ngā luenga le whaamisinonga e au mai e whaamisino nei. O le totongi fo i whaamisino, ia o ia totongi. O lea o mai e whaile ngā luenga le whaamisinonga a Samoa. Ai leo ni whaamisino fo i whapea o lo tōwhia fo i lea full time. Fo i lea pei fo i isi tūlanga e fito a whaongaina i ari whaamisino. I le taimi e tūlai mai e se manao. I just want to say briefly in English the response to the issue on the budget. I think it was raised earlier in the week that there was some statements that we were having problems and we didn't know how to develop a budget. And I understand that the Minister of Finance, the Honourable Mulipola, had made a response to the effect that her problem was not so much developing a budget, but that her chief advisor, the CEO for Treasury, is in a very conflicted situation, being the son of the leader of the HRPP party. Now, I just want to clarify the issue on our capacities to develop a budget. And supposedly that we had asked the New Zealand government for assistance to develop our budget. So I just want to make clear that what we raised with the New Zealand government and specifically the Minister of Finance, Mr. Robertson, was to have a discussion around transition budgets, especially when there is a change of government and a change of administration. How do you utilize the budget to ensure significant changes in policy as per party manifestos? So that was the specific question that we put to the Minister of Finance of New Zealand, because we knew that the Labour government, when they came in 2 elections ago, the National Party had been in office for 3 terms, so that's 9 years. So when Labour came in, this was one of their key priorities, was to how do they use the budget to ensure that their policies are put in place. Now, we are a new administration. We've come into government after HRPP has been in government in a straight line since 1988. So it is a very pertinent question. And, you know, of course, we can sort it out and work it through. But when you know that other people have had experience, have developed methodologies and ways of work in how you transition from one administration to another and changing significantly policy basis and so forth, why not go to the source and ask, you know, what has been their experience and share, you know, and get the benefit of their experience. And especially the modeling that they might have done. The minister very quickly understood what the issues were. He was very clear on their approach, and he admitted that it took them their first term, you know, to get into a methodology that could ensure that their policies could be implemented through the budget allocations and processes. So we weren't asking for help per se to develop the budget. I'm very confident that my Minister of Finance and her Associate Minister, are both finance people. They know how to develop budgets. They know how to read budgets. But as a new administration, and wanting to see how we can begin, although we have a shortened budget period because we took over government late, but we do want to make sure that we can utilize the budget for the current financial year 21-22 to begin implementing the manifesto of the First Party.
Honourable, the leader of the opposition party claims that they have not been officially informed of when Parliament will convene.
Well, there is a problem supposedly with the opposition party. First of all, none of them have been sworn in. So I'm not quite sure what their status is. And when we're ready to have Parliament, we will make the announcements. But then the announcements usually go out to recognize members of Parliament. And as of now, all those MPs with the HRPP, they have no status.
It appears to, it seems like the leader of the opposition party, former Prime Minister, is making claims saying that he refuses to be sworn in by the Speaker of the House. He wants to be sworn in by the head of state. Can you, what's going to happen to the unsworn member of Parliament?
Well, first of all, the swearing in of the 24th of May has been validated by the decision of the courts. So the convening of Parliament, has happened, and the swearing in process that took place has been validated as well. So the normal practice is it is the Speaker who is sworn in by the head of state. Then it is the Speaker who swears in members of Parliament. So as of now, it is the prerogative of the Speaker to swear in members of Parliament. So, if members of Parliament who have not been sworn in wish to be sworn in, they should really go see the Speaker. Ia, leo se tolu poina foi leo. O le whaawawa tātou whenga le whai i nei vai taimi o le pesi o le whaamai. E whailonga ia tātou waso o whaapea i lunga o whaalinga foi lea ma whaasalalonga. Manisi au wala e whaiti ti ai le poto foi lea o tangata. Ia, pe o te le o i o e atu le upu tolo po. O whaawau al whenga sa wei fo i lata o sanga ia le polkalam. E al polkalam. Ia, ai pe o ese whatinonga ona o le whiangai o tātou na le COVID le raitai.
Whaawau pera whatinonga sa winga i le service.
Ia, al polkalam me ale vaenga o ile o le Tourism Authority pe ona masani ai. Kola mai sala tu por kalame whailonga i te wiki.
Pamo niele tsunama le tsatsumala vale le whahali le whapela so kai.
O i salvo talu no el nami.
Tau whiwa no lewa tau nu te wila. Io te wila o por kalame whenga maro ua tuana e tunei. Nasi sira lau whionga i kuari mia kuumale. Whenga maro po whaawau pēr le te wila, pēr le a nata usanga po pe suisesi por kalame. Io e whape nā whenga maro.
Io me moni ai e o i se tala i le whaau pole whaau ole te uila pe ina isi mea ia o leo lo whianga i mkatou ma mana i fwoi lo fisi whaatupu manatu.
Lau fia hapa ko mole na ba pila I se patatan mo tatu ni palawa mole
o te loa o la e whataltal no wala o e tato sui o ele ana malo I fiti ia ma ele tau mate ele na o tato le malo o le whianga I maluna pesili o le tau telefoi ia tamatia o ngoisi motor Pasifika ia ai o le whawhitau li alea I nei o le pui ngā alea ai maisi mai atu nuu o lea o loo pesi ai ia le whama ia ai o le meta ua hoi lea o le amata ona whaise whataltal noanga tilo ine awala e ono mwhai ona whai eile nā mea ai le taimi nei ele mau se tonu mautu.
Right.
kasihan apa mo kaya naman sa ulo may kasabo yung tao pula no sige tuway ile may mapaupay niya ni kayo tuwang ay kamon mo na yung pati sige pati ay nato tili man naoy patang tula to but man naoy sa ilo man na uli wala ko na au iya la to supporters and may sure mamalo na tumo yung wato may tayo
Ia, ole mea ia, ole ua whamania foi le pātu la whono ia le tau au whianga ma le pātau tonga na whai le asorufu whao o me. O lona winga la, ole ua nofo ia le nofoa o le whonga whitalai. Mai ole matawhai oi na le whonga whitalai. O le whātauto o sui whaipule. A o le lape maua e se whaamoe. I le whionga I le au mamalu o le malu. Ia atonu e le o manino le le tu la fono. Ma le ngā solongo o le whengo whātauto.
Manula,